Good night, teacher. In the Guia app number 1, we talk about the content and language integrated learning approach in use. So, we have the CLII content. This is a term created in 1994 by David Marsh and Ann Mulders. It is a methodology similar to language immersion and content-based instruction. It is an approach for learning content through an additional language, foreign or second, thus teaching both the subject and language. The idea of these proponents was to create an umbrella term, which encompasses different forms of using language as a medium of instruction. So basically, the CLIL is the use of the different contexts, for example, culture, the different language that the people speak, and try to understand how to function in the brain. In this case, we analyze the how function in the foreign language. So, we have the short story of the CLIL. The CLIL method was used for the first time at the Fiskala Finnish University, and also in Netherlands in the late 90s at the last of the century. The countries mentioned above emphasizing project-based learning when students work in various groups for one semester. As a consequence of the cooperation, they are given the opportunity to work with people of different backgrounds and with different native language. This fact enables them to get used to a wide range of accents. So, we have different applications of CLIL. The first, a multicultural approach, is to become more and more common in the current world and to live within one country, with speakers of the other language, with different cultural background may be some considered as a matter of fact. A diversity methods of material prepares students to deal with people from different cultural language and social backgrounds on to perceive the difference as a part of their culture and enriching them. Excellent materials offer updated study resources available not only for teachers but also for students in various forms. And finally, neurodidactic supports ICT applications in classroom as the so-called brain-based activities. All of these applications show how to CLIL functions, especially in the moment that we interact with other people with know another language or speaking another language, and also with the people we have a different culture that one. We have advantages and disadvantages of them. So, learning emphasis critical thinking students. The learning process is based on real situation. Learning is a base of teamwork. The most important here is work in groups. Raising of the intercultural awareness of both students and teachers, and increasing the employability. Breaking various kinds of prejudice and fear traveling outside of home, acquiring communicative skills and patterns. So, some of these advantages function with the way of the people try to break the taboos, for example. The taboos that were in the other people. Sometimes the taboos were transmitted with a language. So, with this methodology, the people can know exactly what is the topic or what is the thing that the people want to transmit, especially in the case of taboos. So, in the disadvantages, we have different possible negative aspects. A high level of time consumption for material preparation, student teachers do not have relevant level of foreign language knowledge, not enough information of the CLII method, lack of motivation to use the CLIL approach, resistance of using the method, training courses are not available on a regular basis. So, the requirements on teachers. There are books describing the basic requirements for the skills and competencies of the teacher using CLIL approach, says by Book Docs at 2010. This covers foreign language acquisition by non-language teachers becoming acquired by a certain non-language subject. The role of the teamwork during lessons, CLII methodology, the way of assessment, how to provide a feedback, dealing multicultural groups, didactic and multinational groups. So, It's very important that the teachers know that CLIL is a methodology. It is not a subject, it's only a methodology, but we have a lot of books that explain how to function this methodology. An example of lessons of requirement in economic subjects. So, the topic of requirement has been chosen for this variety of use several fields. The topic can be used at both of hard and soft CLIL versions, including some alternations depending on the main lesson's objective. These lessons have been designed for students in economic subjects. So we have an example here. Lessons requirement: textbooks 1A, workbook 1A, notebook folder, before lessons start, desk in order, no rubrics around, and finally a message. So we have the purpose that the teacher wants here, but the different purposes change according to the teacher, according to the institution, etc., etc. Finally, the use of content and language integrated learning is considered a new pattern in a language on a subject teaching, as integrating both parts into teaching. Next, it responds to the needs and globalization and uses lingua franca as a means of communication within multinational communities. Thank you.